Hey friends, it's Robin. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing something that I haven't done before, and that is an unhaul. I was kind of on the fence about doing this video, but I asked over on Instagram if this was a type of video that people wanted to see, and it was overwhelmingly yes, people wanted to see this. So I have 30 books to unhaul. I unhaul books all the time. I am constantly unhauling books. I have a bad habit of buying a physical copy of a book before I've read it, and then I read it in another format, usually via audio, and then not loving it, and then I unhaul my physical copy, and I need to be better about not doing that. So I try not to buy a physical copy unless I know it's a copy that I'm going to keep regardless of how I feel about it. Otherwise, I try to wait until after I've read the book. But sometimes things still happen and I want to get rid of books. My tastes change all the time. So I'm going to go through all 30 of these books and just kind of talk about why I've decided to unhaul them, everything like that. I take my books to my local used bookstore, and whatever my local used bookstore doesn't keep to a resell, they donate. And the reason I do it that way is because then it's a one-stop shop for me, and I don't have to worry about doing the donations afterwards myself. They just donate to any sort of like local shelters and things like that. So, but let's just get into the unhaul. The first one is an unhaul because I actually have a duplicate copy of Mad Men. I joined Only James's Patreon and I had already owned this. Once you hit a certain number of months on her Patreon, you get sent her latest book. And so I was sent a signed copy of Mad Men. And so I decided to keep the signed copy, and I'm just going to take this copy that I had purchased to my local used bookstore. So that's what this one is. It's just a duplicate copy. After that is a whole collection of Katie Robert books. I am not getting rid of my entire Katie Roberts collection. I do still have some of her books here. However, I was part of her Patreon and I got sent a bunch of books, and I'm not going to keep them for certain reasons. So I have Queen, which is the third book in the Bloodline Vampire series. It is signed to me, but I am not going to purchase the first two books in the series, and I'm never going to reread the series. So I'm going to take this to my bookstore. I'm just going to move. It feels weird holding the books that direction. I got the Bastard's Betrayal. I think this is the spinoff of her Mafia series, which I've never read. And I don't think I'm going to go back and read it. So I'm not going to read this one because I haven't read the first series. Then I have Broderick, which is like book 2 or 3 in the Sabine Valley series, which she has said that she might not even be continuing with. So I'm never going to start this because I don't want to start a series that might never be finished. I have Seducing My Guardian, which again I think is the third book in her Touch of Taboo. Fourth book in Touch of Taboo. I do like books 1 and 2 in here, but I don't particularly love this one, so I'm not going to keep this one. And then I talked about this in my vlog, my 3rd Time's a Charm vlog, which I will link up in the cards as well as in the description box, but I am unhauling the, oh god, what is this series called again? The Dark Olympus series. It's not on here anywhere, but I've decided to unhaul this entire series. I gave Neon Gods 4 stars. I gave Electric Idol 1.5 stars. And I gave Wicked Beauty 2 stars. And I'm not going to keep Neon Gods. I'm never going to reread this book. And I'm just a little soured for the series. And someone is going to see these at my local used bookstore and be very excited that they can get the entire collection here. So I'm going to get rid of all of those. I have decided to unhaul The Chosen and the Beautiful by Ningbo. This was a book I was extremely excited for. I bought this full price, and even though it's this tiny little book, this was $27, which is insane. But this is a Great Gatsby retelling, and I love The Great Gatsby. It is my all-time favorite classic, and this was a queer gender-bent retelling, slightly fantastical. And I started this like 2 or 3 times, and I don't think I ever got past like the 2nd chapter. I was not getting into it, and I haven't heard the greatest things about it, and so I've decided I'm I'm gonna let this one go. Again, someone will be excited to see this. When I was doing my bookshelf reorganization, I'll link that video up in the cards in the description box as well. I am getting rid of the Nevermore series. I got these for Gavin's old middle grade readathon a couple of years ago, and I never read them. And honestly, I'm never going to read them. I'm never going to read these. I'm not a huge middle grade reader. And again, someone's going to be excited to see those for half price or discounted price or whatever. So the next collection of books I'm getting rid of are all holiday books that I had picked up. I got these guys. These are just some mass market Christmas romances. This one was becoming a Hallmark movie, and this is just an author that I've seen a ton of people read for Christmas romances, but I'm not gonna ever read these. Same thing with, I got All About Us by Tom Ellen. I really liked this premise, and this cover is really cute, but again, I didn't see great reviews for it, so it's gonna go. I got this one as well as this one, I think, in a subscription box, and again, I'm never gonna read either of these, so they're gonna go. As well as the 12 Dates of Christmas. I, again, really liked this premise, but this started getting some reviews. So the next collection are some like classic books that I'm getting rid of because they're all problematic authors. So we have Ender's Game, gonna go, and then Agatha Christie. I'm getting rid of all of them. I'm never gonna read them, and I don't need problematic authors on my shelves. The next two are, I'm getting rid of The Brightest Night by Jennifer Ella Armentrout. This is the third book in, oh God, what is this? The Darkest Star? I don't remember what it's called, but this was the third book. And I picked this up randomly at Barnes & Noble one day just because it was signed. And I was like, well, I'll just get the rest of the series. I didn't love this series, so I'm never gonna purchase the first two books, so I'm gonna unhaul this. I don't need the third book. And then I'm also gonna get rid of A Shadow in the Ember by JLA because I DNF'd this book, and I am not going to continue on with this series. That's not gonna happen. The next book is 8,000 Miles by Bridget Morrissey. This is the classic example of what I was talking about at the beginning of this video. I purchased a physical copy of this book, and then I listened to the ALC copy of it that I had, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. And I'm just like, why did you buy the physical copy before you read it when you had a free copy sitting on your phone? Reader logic. But I did buy it, and it was fine. Like, I have nothing against this book, but again, it's my shelves, I have limited space, so I only want to keep books that I really like and love and want to talk about and share. And this is just not a book that I'm ever going to think about again. It's not one that it's going to pop up on a bunch of recommendations list and I'm going to want to hold up or something. So, and then the last 4 books are all YA fantasy books that I am just getting rid of. I don't need them. I'm not going to read them. The first one is The Splendor by Brianna Shields. This had a premise that really, really intrigued me. It sounds a lot like The Night Circus, which I adore, but I haven't seen great things about it. I'm honestly just never gonna pick this up, and I need to stop picking up books that I know I'm never gonna read. Same thing with The Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. This, again, has a premise that really intrigues me. We are following the villain of the story. This is a Goose Girl retelling, which I've never read a Goose Girl retelling before, so I was really intrigued by that. I'm most likely never going to read this, and if I am, I can pick it up from the library and I don't need to own it. It doesn't need to sit on my shelves for another year. Same thing with the Gilded Ones. I even purchased the stunning paperback special edition from Waterstones. This is absolutely beautiful. Like, it hurts a little to get rid of this because it is so beautiful, but I'm never gonna read this. And then the last is Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard. I think I got this in a sub box, but again, I'm never gonna read this. I don't even know what it's about, but like anything with like a sword and like blood on the cover, it's not my jam. Nothing about this screams to be a Robin book, and so it's gonna go. So that is all 30 books that I'm going to be getting rid of. It is a pretty small unhaul, honestly, for me. I know a lot of people struggle with unhauling books. I do not. I get rid of books all the time, and I am constantly going through my bookshelves and getting rid of more books that I have changed my mind about or no longer feel the need to hold on to. And I've even recently been getting the itch to do this again. That is going to be it for this unhaul. Let me know if you are like me and you unhaul books all the time, or if you are a big collector and like to hold on to every book that you've read. And I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye.